Liverpool FC is hard as hell. United, Tottenham, Arsenal. Watch my lips and I will spell, cause they don't just play but they can rap as well. Liverpool FC.
My idea was to go Liverpool into a bastion of invincibility, you know, like. Napoleon had that idea, he would conquer the bloody world.
Welcome to the ANFIELD SOUTH podcast. You'll never talk alone. We are a London-based group of Liverpool fans that originated from a WhatsApp group. Now with me today we have Ryan.
Yes, what's going on?
Leo.
What's up?
Jules.
In the house.
Sean.
What's going on?
And Sam.
Yes, people.
We've just finished watching Leicester versus Liverpool. A hard-fought win, but 3 points nonetheless. Now, let's go to Ryan. What are your thoughts on today's game?
Well, you know, it was a tough game, but these are the games that win you the league. When things plan A ain't working, you're not playing that well, and you grind out a result. That's what we haven't done for years, and that's what we've done today. So I'm very happy.
Dare I say it so early in the season, Jules? Is this the sign of champions?
Could be, man. Could be. Disappointing, clean sheet. No, gone, but 3 points on the board.
Can you really be disappointed? 4 wins, 4 games.
No, not really. I mean, it's 12, like you said. Counting threes and we're alright. You know, keep it going.
But as you just mentioned there, Jules, the clean sheet thing. Let's talk about the goal that we conceded. Allison and his fancy footwork. Are we for the footwork, or do we think we want our goalkeeper to just keep it simple?
I'm not for it at all. I think just keep it simple. There's no need to do all this fancy stuff like, you know, doing tricks and flicks with the ball. You know what I mean? The ball came to him, took one touch, kicked the ball out. Just keep it simple. No need to try and, you know, put it through a man's legs.
Yeah, you're not Ronaldinho. Like, sparingly, fine, but every time, then players was obviously watching what he done last week.
Yeah, in the Brighton game.
So they're going to jump on him every time.
Yeah.
But don't we have to accept that this is what comes with having a top-class keeper? Because this is how he plays.
Yeah, but you're a keeper. That's the key word.
But does he think he's a keeper?
You should think so.
Because he plays like he's a real baller.
And I appreciate that, but at the end of the day, bread and butter first. We can't, like today it didn't cost us, but imagine it did.
Well, let's hope he's learnt the lesson from today. We got away with it, boys.
Everyone's watching us, we're on telly every week. So this is the thing, it's been a big thing about him doing what he done last week. So everyone's watching, so they know when a player's chasing him down, they know he's going to try something.
Yeah, he's going to try that skill.
So it's all the more reason for them to close him now.
Yeah, definitely.
Fair enough, I hear that.
I mean, he's definitely going to come off a lot of stick, you know what I mean? I mean, let's be honest, if Karius did this,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah.
Karius would never try, let's be honest.
But still, you know what I mean? If Karius had done this, then, you know what I mean, we're killing him.
But then again, Leo, do you think this could be Klopp telling him to do these things, or do you think he's taking it into his own hands?
It's not Klopp. I think Klopp has bought, he knows what he's paid for. He's paid for somebody that can play with his feet and is good with his hands. He's not going to tell him to stop doing what he's doing. However, now, he'll probably tell him, look, this is not the Italian league. This is a different league. You know, you have to kind of consider things a little bit more. So can you kind of curb it a little bit more? He won't tell him to stop doing it altogether, but can you kind of curb it?
Tone it down.
Yeah, tone it down a bit, because, you know, I told you, you know, he's probably told him already, but, you know, you've got to be a bit more quicker with the ball, a bit more careful.
Because that is part of our MO, isn't
But
it?
when you watched the game and you saw Klopp's reaction, Klopp smiled. He actually smiled and kind of just shrugged. That tells you everything you need to know. It's like, when we get back to training, I'm going to have a word with you. And the nicest way.
After he smiled, he went mad though.
Well,
I don't think you saw it, he went mad.
Well, there you go. You know, but, you know, he's got to stop it somehow, and he will. So
I mean, surely he'll learn from this, you know what I mean? We'll have a word with him, like Leo said, and say, listen, tone it down, stick to your bread and butter, go on from there.
He'll be fine, man. I'm not worried about Allison at all. I'm not worried about him at all. I think, you know, when you've got somebody that's that talented, mistakes will happen. Mistakes are going to happen. Like that, mistakes are going to happen. But by and large, it's going to save you so many bloody points that you just have to kind of just accept it. You just have to accept it.
And he's still learning the league as well.
Exactly.
So he's going to learn that players will close him like that. Maybe in Italy they just sit back.
Yeah.
It's a different situation there.
Because if you remember De Gea, when De Gea came, De Gea was getting bullied. When he went up for ball, he was getting bullied, right? Because he didn't understand the league. This guy is not going to get bullied because he's physically ready. But on the floor, he has to learn That's it.
Maybe.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, that's how I see it.
But maybe the last 3 games hadn't done that much.
Yeah, exactly.
Addition to Strictly Come Dancing.
Yeah,
that term was the whole 360 wasn't a bit special.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It was.
There you go, and he hasn't been busy the last 3 games.
So maybe a bit of boredom's creeping in while he's in between the
A bit of complacency. A bit of complacency
off the back of what he did last week when everyone's thinking he's the most amazing goalkeeper ever.
I would hope they talk to him about that because concentration is the key. For a top team, you're not going to have 15 shots every week. You're going to have 1 or 2 a lot of the time. So you got to stay on point. You can't
on the ball,
create your own fun. That's not what we're doing.
To be fair to him though, apart from that, he was outstanding today. Everything he did was on point.
Calmness personified.
Everything was on point.
I
mean, I wasn't worried until that happened.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to put it down to. Just maybe like a lack of concentration.
We got away with it.
Yeah, but he did say this is how he plays and he's not going to change. That's what he said.
So this is what I'm saying. We have to take this as what it is. This is what we've bought. So
to be honest with you, you've got Van Dijk. Van Dijk will tell him, clear your lines. Over and over again, he will tell him, clear your lines.
I mean, it's still early, but there's making mistakes and there's making growing mistakes. Today was just an absolute shocker, you know what I mean? But I think we'll learn from this and again, just move on to the next game, you know what I mean? And yeah, that's it.
So, any standout performance for you today, Leo, in Leicester game?
Standout performances. I think we're all quite laboured. Difficult one for me. I'm going to go Winnie. Wijnaldum. I think Wijnaldum was flipping excellent. You know,
Leo, do you want to?
That's my guy.
Okay, for those of you, obviously you don't know us very well. Leo is a staunch campaigner for Gini Wijnaldum. So he backs him to the hills.
I mean, Wijnaldum doesn't do too many wrong things in a game. You know, sometimes he can, but I think most of the time it's a steady 8 out of 10. Some of you are going to disagree with me, but that's okay. You know, I think Wijnaldum had a good game. I think Milner did all right. Hendo didn't do anything actually today. He was actually shit.
Hendo was poor.
Yeah, he was shit today. So was Trent Alexander-Arnold. So I tell you what, Gomez is my man of the match.
That challenge you made, that last ditch challenge you made,
Gomez.
There, I can't remember who was through on goal. It was that guy.
It was Maddison.
He was quite impressive today for Leicester, Maddison. And Gomez made that last ditch tackle. That was a great tackle. I think the partnership he's making with Van Dijk is teaching him a lot, and I think he's a different Gomez to what we saw from last season. I think a lot of us, including myself, were very critical of him at right back. His lack in concentration, but I think today he showed he's fully focused and he's on the ball. Yeah, I'd go with Gomez personally. For me, it was a close thing between Gomez and Firmino. And for me, Firmino, he just epitomises work rate and endeavour. Yeah. I mean, for me today, we were lacking something in midfield in the centre of the park, and Firmino was dropping in there and he was filling that hole and he was trying to link the midfield with the strikers. So for me, I think he deserved his goal for the work that he put in today. So
definitely.
For me, Firmino. Ryan, who stood out for you today?
Definitely Gomez. I was gonna start insulting man to my when he said Wijnaldum, but I quickly realised he was joking. I hope he was joking. Gomez, yeah, it was excellent. And the point you made about Firmino, he was doing that job. He was stepping up where Wijnaldum and others didn't.
Any chance to dig out Wijnaldum, man?
Jules, how about you? Who stood out for you today, man?
Well, Firm's got off the mark, which is good.
Firms, aka Ghost, aka Firmino.
Yeah, that's easy. He was, like I said, everyone's off the mark. Mane, 4 goals in 4 games.
It's good. It's looking lively.
Don't say anymore.
It's looking lively.
You know what I mean? So leading scorer. Salah, I mean that early chance he missed, I don't know if it played on his mind, but he's a marked man now, so
it's going to be a difficult season for him. It's going to be a difficult season for Salah because I'm not sure defenders can totally figure him out because his movement is terrific. So he'll always sniff out a chance, but I think the chances are going to be few and far between. So he's going to need to be a bit more clinical this season to hit the numbers he hit last season. So he had a tough game today and didn't look pleased to be hooked by Klopp. But so it goes, no one's immune to being hooked. I think if you're having a rough day, Klopp needs to make those tough decisions and hook people. And he did. So I was quite pleased with that substitution, if I'm honest. Sean, anyone stand up for you today?
I'm going to go with Gomez. I mean, you just see the way that playing alongside Van Dijk, the way that's just benefiting him. They're so comfortable. I mean, last season at right back, very error prone, lots of concentration. You can just see playing alongside Van Dijk. He just seems to be like a whole different player, in my opinion. You know what I mean? He's solid, he's reliable, doesn't do much wrong at all.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I'm just happy with the performance today. I thought midfield was pretty poor. You know what I mean? No one could hold the ball really. Distribution wasn't really good. Mane didn't play great, but got the goal. That's 4-4 now. And I think you lot were saying like outside the group, saying that when he has a bad game, he always comes back and either scores or assists. You know what I mean? That just shows to me like the way he's just getting better. You know what I mean?
He stands up. Yeah.
So I think Mane also with a goal. Other than that, I want to just those two really. In my opinion, I thought everybody else was below average. In my opinion,
second gear. I thought that was second gear.
Sam, what about you, mate?
Yeah, I can't disagree with anything that's been said about Gomez. I think he's literally growing game on game. And where we were worried when he was in the team, worrying about mistakes, he seems like he's almost going to be ready to have a full season at centre back. I know it's early to say that, only 4 games in, but Lovren's going to have an issue getting it right now. And I feel like the partnership they have off the pitch is definitely showing on it as well. And he listens. You can see that he listens. And in a game where our attacking play was a bit stuttered and it wasn't as fluent as it should have been, I think we had that reliability at the back. And even though it was a bit shaky towards the end, I wasn't too worried about dropping the points. So, yeah, definitely Gomez for me. Mane's doing good things as well. He didn't play well today, but he got his goal, as you said, and he's putting those numbers in. He's putting those numbers in. So, Salah, I think that chance did play on his mind because he wasn't himself today and he barely touched the ball. As Shawn mentioned, the midfield was... Well, yeah, it was just there was nothing there.
Yeah,
at all
there was a big gap in that midfield. I think Naby Keita not starting was a bit of a big loss for us. Well, can't say a big loss. But you can see the difference without him in there. For me, Naby's that guy who can get the ball and drive forward and can see a pass. And obviously, without mentioning the guy who left us for a team that we don't like, we haven't got anyone else apart from Naby to do that. So to not have him in the team, I think that was a big loss.
I think Naby's the only midfielder we have that's different from the rest in terms of what role he can play. And if you take that out of the team, we haven't got any creativity going forward.
Yeah.
And Henderson proved that today for me. I'm not knocking him.
Yeah, he was rubbish.
Just say how it is.
He was rubbish today. He was rubbish.
Alright, I'm not knocking him, but others may disagree. I mean, he had these few switch balls as he normally does, but there was nothing really that stood out for me. And I think if you take Naby out of the team, you put him in there, you're losing something massively.
Why do you highlight Henderson though? Like, he wasn't any worse than the rest of them.
Namely Wijnaldum, yeah?
No, namely all of them. I think Milner, Wijnaldum, all of them. Firmino was essentially dropping deep to do their job.
But that's his role now this season. That's his role. He drops into midfield.
But he had to do that. Without him doing that,
if Naby was playing, would that have happened? It's unlikely.
Do you know what? I feel what Ryan's saying. Henderson doesn't need marking up, especially because of the how poor the midfield was. I think all 3 of them were as poor as each other in the midfield. But I think the reason why Henderson gets singled out is because he is our club captain, and so
he has to lead by example, and he doesn't sometimes. A lot of the time,
he's done a great job.
He's as a captain.
Replacing Gerrard was the mission impossible.
He's always going to be tough. Was always going to be tough replacing Gerrard, and we know that, and we can't compare him to Gerrard. There's only one Gerrard, and we're never going to see Gerrard again. But with those boots in mind to fill, Ryan, Team Gerrard always.
Oh, look, he's a Hendo fan. Talk to us about Henderson. You like Henderson, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
What do you like about Henderson?
He's got the energy.
Is that it?
What's what you need at sometimes, man? He's got the energy.
Listen, if you're the club captain, you need more than energy.
But he must have things behind the doors, but we don't see. We don't get to see.
He steps up,
but on the pitch,
the energy.
He doesn't hide. He's not scared. Like, he doesn't get intimidated by other opposition players. Like, he does a good job.
Am I right in saying that Henderson plays within his abilities? Yeah, within his capabilities, should I say?
He
gives 100%. He gives 100% with what he can do, limited or not.
You're not expecting them to score goals, are you? 25 yarders and stuff like that. You're not expecting them to do that. We've got players up front to do that. So he does keep it simple, but he hasn't got into the team. It's difficult. He hasn't been in the team this season.
It's his first start this season, isn't it?
As club captain, like I said,
give him a little bit of a leeway for that.
Maybe not being harsh.
Yeah, a little bit. Just a little.
I mean, it's still early doors. Obviously, like I said before, he came back late for the World Cup. This is his first start of the season.
Some people had a free pre-season. Some players.
Who?
Some players didn't go to the World Cup. Not everyone in our squad went to the World Cup.
Yeah, it's true.
Privilege.
Okay then, lads. Well, being as it's only 4 games in, shall we have a little look back at the games we've played so far? First game of the season, West Ham at home.
It's a walk on the park,
Yeah, probably our best performance, to be fair.
easily.
All goals.
Yeah.
That's what we thought.
Walk on the park with West Ham, we're just.
We looked impressive in that game, didn't we? Yeah, I thought we were going to kick on. I thought it was going to be problems for the rest of the Premier League after that game. The way we played in that game, I thought we were going to make teams suffer. But
And we still will.
Yeah, it's
You can't win every. The games that win you the league are games like today for me.
And
Crystal Palace.
last week.
Yeah. It's
Crystal
them
Palace
kind of
was
games
massive.
where you got.
that was a massive result.
Yeah.
2-0 Crystal
grind it
Palace.
But that's been a bogey team for the last couple of seasons.
Yeah.
We've gone there. People
And
tried.
Leicester. And to be honest, Leicester too.
Yeah.
Leicester
Yeah,
away.
yeah, they
it's been a hard game for us.
Very
the last
hard.
3 years or so.
I think Vardy not being in the team
Helped us.
Massive difference.
You know what I mean?
Massive
Good
difference.
time to play them, actually.
Yeah,
Good time.
probably, yeah.
It was a good time to play them.
So then after the Palace game, we had the Brighton at home, 1-0, which was
It was basically camps in one half, really.
yeah, it was a hard-fought game.
But a game where we might have drew last season.
Only 1-0.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely, you're right there, Ryan. The drawing thing probably would have happened last season. Do you know what I mean? So, overall, for me personally, I think the results, the fixtures we played and the results we've had have all been positive. And as we said at the top of the podcast, slight sign of champions. I don't want to say it too loudly. I don't want to say it too loudly. But if you look at teams in the past, i.e., Manchester United. They're a team who can win games not playing well, do you see what I mean? And then win
Chelsea have
championships.
been masters at doing that.
Under Mourinho especially, definitely. So, you know, like I said, it is early.
Well, 38 games league, 34 played, and we've won 4. So, you know, I mean, we can't argue with that.
Just keep kicking on.
That's
Just keep
it.
kicking on.
Only conceded 1, and that was from a foolish
Yeah,
error.
that's the thing. I mean, the goal that we conceded wasn't like, you know, it was like bad defending. It's just absolute foolishness from the goalkeeper. So, all in all, just be happy, man. 4 games. 4
International break now? Yeah, it's chill.
Do we think the international break has come at the right time for us? Because I feel we haven't clicked into top gear yet. So could this international break give us the time and space we need?
It could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing because it depends on who plays and who gets injured and who doesn't get injured.
Right, that's exactly
So
what I was
really
saying.
and truly, international break is the worst thing to happen to football.
Ever.
Full stop.
It's
a Russian roulette.
It's crazy. I mean, the season's just begun. We've just come off the back of a World Cup. Who needs an international break?
4 wins, 12 points, and then your players go away.
To God knows where.
Someone comes back hurt, a key player comes back injured, or just something happens, and then we got to start all over again.
We
And
got
it's just,
Spurs next.
big games.
Some of the players don't come back from Brazil, I read, until the Thursday before the match.
And it's a midday kickoff on Saturday.
And then we're midday on Saturday. So straight away, all our Brazilian players, the 3 or 4 of them or whoever,
Fabinho, Firmino,
Allison.
Yeah, the 3 of them.
And you know what's wicked? The wickedest thing about all that is, those players might not even touch the pitch for those international games. But they've had to clock all those that
I think
mileage.
Firmino will play.
Definitely,
Allison.
but you got
Allison.
possibly, yeah, but
Fabinho might not.
Fabinho, but you never know because it's friendlies and stuff like that. He might change it up, and for me, that's annoying. You sent my player to the back of yard, and then he's not even touching the pitch, or maybe he touches the pitch for half an hour. It's just like, is this international break necessary? No. And I think a lot of other media outlets would have discussed it on their platforms, but I feel like it's time that this international break goes. I feel like there should just be a period where it's internationals only. Yeah, so then the international manager gets a good look at all of his players for a sustained period of time, and then it doesn't keep interrupting the league.
Well, you know what? Alex Ferguson was the best. He was the best person to deal with international breaks because you know what he would do? He would just tell you that his players are injured.
Yeah, they must.
Goals.
You're not going. You're just not going.
They just were injured all the time when it came to international
You
break.
think that could still happen now, though?
No, because he Alex Ferguson was Alex Ferguson. He ran things. You know what I mean? So that can't happen now. But it's what it is. Hopefully our players come back fit and we just go again. Really, so that's fine. It's not a biggie.
Okay, so we'll have to talk about the Champions League draw from midweek.
I'm not happy with it, in honesty. I would have loved it.
Can I just say, can we start with Ryan here? Yeah, because
We can
he's
start.
been the most vocal about how unhappy he is about the Champions League draw. So let me hear what you got to say, bro.
I'm unhappy, not because I don't think we can win the group, because I do. Not because I don't think we can beat any of these teams, because I do. I was unhappy because the league has to be our focus, and playing PSG is a massive distraction. We could have drew Lokomotiv Moscow. That could have been the hardest, the pot one team. That could have been the hardest that we faced. But instead we got PSG, Napoli, another nightmare game. You don't want to go to these games, and then on the back of it, you got a hard Premier League
I have to
game.
disagree with you, Ryan. I think, do you know what? To be the best, you have to beat the best. And whether you play them in the beginning, the middle, or the end of a Champions
I
League
think
run.
you're missing my point.
At the end of a Champions League run, okay, hold on a second.
Yeah.
I think I get your point, but wherever you play them in a run, you have to play them in order to call yourself a champion. You have to beat them. Now, I feel after the signings we've made, in additions to the squad we've made, we should be able to cope with these kind of fixtures in and amongst other fixtures. And I feel like if we can't, then we're not serious.
I'm not saying we can't beat the teams. That's never what I'm saying.
You're talking about the toll it takes on the body.
We could beat the teams, but then, like, say we've got PSG away. That's a crazy fixture. That's a hard fixture. Mentally, physically, it's a tough fixture. Then, if you've got whoever on the back of that, Burnley away, say, that's not. You've got maybe a day or 2 days max to play after such a hard game like that. It's very hard for anyone.
Also, we don't have the experience of obviously juggling like the league and the Champions League. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, we've just obviously qualified for the Champions League. You know what I mean? We're not top contenders as of yet. You know what I mean? So to me, I just feel that we need to prioritize one. I think that if you're going to go out
a favourable tie, then it allows us to concentrate more. But then that's where I kind of disagree with you, because I feel like I said again, my first point, if you want to be the best, you got to play the best, and whichever form that comes in, whichever way, whether it's PSG away and then Burnley afterwards, or if it's Lokomotiv Moscow and then you come back in, it's Chelsea or whatever, you need to be prepared for that. And if this group of players aren't prepared for that tough running mentally, then they have no business being at a club like Liverpool. I mean, we're Liverpool FC, boys. No, we're Liverpool fucking FC, and we've got a proud history. We've got a proud history, of winning loads and loads of trophies and titles and stuff. So if you're not mentally prepared for the battle, what are you doing here?
No, this is the thing. It doesn't matter whether we're Liverpool or whatever squad was placed in this group with our September fixtures and thereafter would have problems. Man City would have problems.
Anyone.
Real Madrid would have problems. Anyone would have problems.
No one would want the group.
Nobody wants that group. That group is not only physically demanding, it's mentally demanding on all those players. What Ryan said about maybe going to PSG away and then going to Burnley afterwards. Burnley might just seem like Burnley. Burnley after a Champions League game is a very, very hard game.
I get it.
So when you have to put things into perspective, and I think really and truly, the group is exciting for Liverpool fans. It's exciting for us to be in such a good group. But in terms of our title hopes, it makes you question how well we'll do after those games, which will then impact our hopes of winning the league. I think that's where I am. I think that's where Ryan was trying to say as well. And also, I read Robbie Savage said the same thing as well. I don't Robbie Savage, really? Come on, a better example next time. Come on, Robbie Savage. I don't listen to Robbie Savage.
Bring it back, bro. Come on.
And I didn't read the article, but I saw the headline, and I thought, fair point, Robbie. Do you know what I mean?
Robbie Savage has won what? With who?
Ban Robbie Savage, don't worry about it.
I think it's a good point.
Ladies and gents, boys and girls, what you won't understand is, obviously we originated from a WhatsApp group. Ryan and Leo agreeing on a point is like pigs flying, gold falling from a tree, blood out of stones. So
it happens once in a while.
When this happens, you do start to think to yourself, maybe you're wrong. So I'm finding it hard right now to stick to my guns But I'm gonna stick to my gun and I'm gonna say it again. I just feel like as mentally tough and physically tough as that Champions League group's gonna be, and the effect it might possibly have on our title challenge, I still feel like these group of players need to be up for that challenge, because, like I said, we're Liverpool, and this is what fans of Liverpool expect year in, year out. Champions League and League, Champions League and League, Champions League and League. So, you know,
can I just make one final point on that? What I wanted to say is, I understand what you're saying, but we want the league. Every Liverpool fan does.
Yeah.
We're desperate.
30 years
we need it. But at the same time, we can't just sacrifice the Champions League. The Champions League is important to us. We need the Champions League. It goes hand in hand. We might not have Allison or whoever if we hadn't got to where we got in the Champions League last season. We have to be getting to the latter stages every year. So we can't just say, it don't matter if we go out. It does matter.
No one's saying that.
I know, but I'm just saying it does matter. We need to progress. So my thinking was, the easier the group, maybe we win the group, win our first 3-4 games, rest people the last 2 games. Surely that's better for us.
I understand that point. From my point of view, I'm looking at it from point of view of an excited fan. I'm just seeing these fixtures and thinking, do you know what? We had an easy run last season. It was never going to happen this year. It was never going to happen. And when we're getting these big games, that's what I want to see. That's what I want the players to be involved with and to experience as well. And we're going to have to beat them at some point, as Slim said. Obviously, it's not the easiest draw, but I'm just going to enjoy it. The same way I looked at the draw last season, I thought, you know what? We're in the Champions League. Let's just enjoy it and see how far we go. I'm looking at it the same way, because I'm not sacrificing it for the league, but I want the league more. Yeah, and although you say it's going to have an impact on that because of the games we're playing, who we're playing afterwards, and the toll it's taken, I think we can cope with that. I think our squad is better, more experienced, and we've brought players to fill the gaps.
I hope you're right, mate.
Well, yeah, we'll revisit this. We'll revisit this.
What are you thinking about this Champions League draw, Jules?
No, I'm just looking at the fixtures for September. I mean, today we've got a win. Tottenham away next after the international break. PSG, Southampton, Chelsea, played them twice. So, I mean, if we can come away with September without losing the game, that will show me something. Instead, well, like you said, I mean, that's what we get excited for as fans, isn't it? We play the big team, we play the big boys. So, I can't see any reason why we can't win.
That's what
I'm the original gas man.
Jules, aka Gasman. Jules is the.
Jules is calm. He's not worried at all. He's not concerned.
Yeah. No, I again.
This is just me, Ryan, and Shawn then.
Again,
seems so.
I mean, that's it.
It's 3 against 3. But you know, time will tell.
I'm not going to call it concern. I'm just,
You look stressed, but there's sweat on your forehead right now.
It's not out of sight. You know what I mean? You're going to put me on blast like that? That's alright.
Get that hanky, bro. Get that hanky.
By the way, you're going to pinpoint.
Man, wiping his brow, boy. Before them Champions League fixtures, man, started sweating. You know what I'm saying?
Anyways.
At the start, I did say we can win the games. That's never been the problem. We can beat anyone on any given day, especially at Anfield. They don't want us. They don't want that problem. But it's after all of that, the emotional aspect and all of that, and then having to go and play whoever who's had a clear week. It's hard. It's hard work.
So, lads, my question to you is: so far, Klopp has played with a 4-3-3, and like we said, we haven't played out of this world, but we've got the results. Do you foresee any formation changes, any personnel changes coming up soon with the hectic schedule of the Champions League and those tough games that we have?
Firstly, is it actually a 4-3-3? Because the way we're playing now, with Firmino dropping deep, are we not playing a kind of diamond when we're on the break? Yeah. Because he's playing in midfield. He's playing as almost a 10
at the bottom of the diamond.
Yeah, and you've got Firmino and you've got Salah and Mane tucking in.
Yeah,
they're tucking in. So I'm not even sure we're playing a 4-3-3. I don't know if that's been an intentional tweak, but it does seem like Firmino's dropping deep all the time. And we used to get so mad when it was Sturridge playing and he was always deep, and we wanted him on the shoulder. But it seems like it's a concerted effort that they've been told to do that.
For me, that's definitely a definite ploy to have Firmino drop in to create space ahead for the likes of Salah and Mane. But I don't know.
I've seen it in the first 4 games that he's been a bit, or first 3 games, because I don't think he played the first game, did he? He did.
He started all of them.
Yeah. So I did see him drop a bit, particularly in the last 3 games. But I don't know whether that's a good or bad thing, to be honest with you, because the midfield seems a bit congested. I don't know about you lot, but I feel like, with him being there, it kind of doesn't give our midfielders the opportunity to perhaps, drive forward as much as what we would like them to do. Do you know what I mean? Do you see what I mean, Shawn? I don't know. Yeah. What do you think?
I just want to say I'm very eager to see how Fabinho's going to fit into our formations. I think that once he comes in, once he settles and gets obviously comes to the Premier League, I think players like Keita are going to benefit from it. Even when Yardem, for example, probably get forward a lot more. Like when Yardem, I said it. That's why I was that guy. I said it when Yardem. Obviously bomb forward a lot more. Also get into a lot of better goal scoring opportunities, and I think that he's going to be very key to our season. We haven't had a proper DM since when? Mascherano,
yeah.
So I'm very eager to see how he's going to fit into our. Yeah, definitely. I think that he's going to be a great asset.
The key, Fabinho.
I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical myself. I've heard a lot and read a lot. I haven't seen a lot. So
seeing is believing.
Of course.
It's 4 games in and. He ain't ready.
Well, yeah.
Ready.
But you know what? That happened last season with Robertson, and we all had to hold our hands up and say
Chamberlain as well.
And Oxlade-Chamberlain.
So let's just be patient with Fabinho and just see how it plays out.
Robertson was ready.
No, he wasn't. He
obviously wasn't.
People hadn't seen him.
He wasn't. I mean, when he get into the team,
you know what? He came into the team last year on the second game and had a very good game, and then didn't play for the longest. So I believe he was ready. He was definitely better than what we had. Definitely, 100%. But Klopp.
I think we haven't seen Fabinho at all, and that speaks volumes. Not even a little sub appearance, nothing.
That says something to me, and it's not a good thing. If he was. Why isn't Keita not played for
because they play a similar style to us.
Exactly, that's why. Leipzig
play a similar style to us, so he's come in and he's hit the ground running. But
if you ask me, Fabinho in pre-season, he did look a little bit off the pace and a little bit sluggish. He looked like he knew where he wanted to be, but he just didn't have that yard of pace he needed to be.
That could have been a fitness thing, which is fine.
He didn't look fit to me at all in pre-season.
He didn't look fit at all. But surely now you've got to be fit.
4 games.
He's only going to get that from game time now, so he's going to need to play soon. We've got Carling Cup games coming up and whatnot, so
maybe the international minutes will benefit him.
So does anybody foresee any change in tactics for any of the upcoming?
The fixtures that are coming up, teams will be more attacking. The last 4 fixtures are probably teams have been sitting back. So
that's true.
So it's a bit different. So we might be able to play a bit more expansive. So the games that are looking forward to, Spurs away. Did get beat last season, 4-1?
Let's not talk about that game.
Redemption. We've got to go there and rectify things like that.
Yeah, and then definitely owe them something.
And then the PSG after. So these are exciting games, and then with that formation, these players now can inspire themselves to get to that next level. Because, like I said, so I think the formation is fine. Like I said, it's fine. People are finding their places. Like I said, Shaqiri came on today. I'm excited.
I'm very good minutes.
Yeah.
Talking about Shaqiri, the new signings that we've seen so far, Keita being one. Obviously, we spoke a bit about Allison and his footwork. How would you guys rate the signings so far and 4 games in? Would you say they've been successful?
I think so far, yeah. I mean, apart from Allison making that one error today,
he's been good.
He's been flawless. You can't really obviously fault him. I think Keita, for the first couple of games, he played well. I think the past couple of games he's been average at best, but you can see the way he plays. I think that he's going to be a big hit, obviously, in the Premier League. I think the way that we play, I think is definitely going to benefit him and the team. Shaqiri, I mean, I saw him a bit last season at Stoke. I thought that he was impressive.
I'd like to see more.
Right now he hasn't played a lot, but
I would like to see a bit more.
It's a long season.
It is a long season, so
he's got to get games. He just also has to be patient.
By this time,
and obviously, with regard to Fabinho, we haven't seen much of him at all. Yeah. But again, I think that I'm eager for him. I'm eager to see him. You know what I mean? Because I think that he could be key to also our midfield and the way that we play and so forth.
Yeah. No, definitely. Like I said, Shaqiri for me is one that I'm excited to see. But then at the same time, I'm not in a hurry to break up the first 11. I think continuity is key when it comes to winning championships and things like that. So I'm happy to see the same team week in, week out in the Premier League. So, like you said.
I mean, for me, I think if we go back to, just before we go back into the signings, the formation and the tactics, I think that the formation, like Sam said, is not a 4-3-3, first of all. But secondly, I don't know if you've noticed that Salah is actually the number 9. He's been playing at the top, the furthest person forward. So he's actually playing at the number 9 role. But in doing that, what that's allowed is obviously it's given Mane, I think, a little bit more space to perhaps move around him, and because Mane's actually plays on the side Salah likes to play on naturally. I think that's given Mane the opportunity to do that as well, with Salah kind of maybe perhaps coming inside more. I think Wijnaldum playing as a number 6, I think that hasn't necessarily changed the way we play, but I do think that him being there without Milner and Henderson probably gives him more license to dictate a little bit more. You're going to laugh. I know you're going to laugh. I think when Wijnaldum plays in a number 6 without Milner and Henderson in his way, I kind of feel as though he's able to kind of control things a little bit more. I think the relationship he has with Van Dijk is quite good. Yeah, in my opinion, because they're both Dutch. I think they have a good connection there. And there, you don't necessarily see mistakes when they kind of play together or close together. Like you saw Wijnaldum make a mistake today, but that was probably not his fault. I wasn't saying. I'm just saying. But anyway,
I wish you lot could see this, because if what you don't know is that Leo has a portrait of Wijnaldum on his left bum cheek. You know what I mean? They're best friends. Oh my God! So Genie, when you listen to this, you better holler at your boy Leo, because he's got your back, mate. I see your point, and I can see Ryan. He's got something to say about that. So go on, Ryan.
No, I haven't got nothing to say about that. I'll disregard that last comment.
Just throw that in the bin.
In terms of Salah being more inside, I think it's left Trent more exposed.
Good point. It has. That got picked up today as well.
It's been hard work for him. I think the young boy's doing good.
His passing's off though, man. His
crossing has been off.
But sorry to cut you again, man. But just what you said there, talking about his passing and his crossing, wouldn't your passing and crossing be off if you was putting in as much work as he is getting up and down that week? You know what I'm saying?
The doggies is a lot.
The doggies is a lot, and into that, you know what I mean?
But I think against better teams, our formation would probably change slightly again. Yeah. And Firmino might be more up top because we'd be pressing higher. Because teams will be playing.
Yeah.
So, I think that automatically would change things a bit.
It's going to be interesting to see how we move forward when it comes to the big boys, as they like to call it, the tops.
Next game.
Yeah, it's going to be.
I'll touch on a big boy.
You have to understand.
I must say, in recent years, they've shown that they're North London. You know what I mean?
They're kings of North London at the moment.
They're kings of London, in fact.
Actually, I'd say they're better in Chelsea at this present moment in time. But
they've been better than us in the last 6 amount of years.
Well, they have. They finished above us. Yeah. So if you look at the table. You know what I mean? So you can't discount Tottenham. You have to class them as a big boy, really, don't you?
It's interesting. If they win,
they're still a small club, but they performed well over a long period of time. But they are a small club. But now
they are a small club.
But now with this new stadium and everything else, they're getting to that big boy status. Yeah. That's it. But
I don't know. I think they're one step. They're always been one step ahead of us.
Who?
Tottenham, in the sense of where they had their best player Bell, and they sold him, got the money, and we had Suarez, we sold him. So they've always been one step ahead of us. The last couple of seasons,
they bought better than us. The recruitment has been better than our recruitment in the last 10 years, if you want. Tottenham's recruitment has been better than ours.
That long?
I'll say so. To be honest with you,
10 years.
It's about 10 years. What they've done is they've had a really good youth system. They brought through good youngsters. They've got a really good manager now. They had a good manager in Harry Redknapp too. For them,
who's the good youngsters they brought through?
They got this Winks gentleman. They've got.
Is Winks a good player?
Harry Winks is a good player.
He's not getting much game time though.
He's
So
potentially a good player.
Well, if they haven't brought
they
through
bring
many,
through
they bought good
Trippier come through their ranks.
What about Danny Rose?
Burnley.
They bought.
Danny Rose, I think, came
Danny
through.
Rose came through as well.
No,
Danny Rose was bought from
he was bought from
Oh,
Leeds.
was he?
Oh, they've only got some.
So in that case, they bought young players.
Yeah,
they bought good young. They bought good young
Dele
players,
Alli, Rose.
which is what we didn't do. We tried to buy Ali, we failed. We tried to buy Chilwell, we failed. So we've got the same blueprint.
Yeah.
That they've executed it better than what we have.
Yeah.
That's
Over the last 10
They're
years.
probably one season ahead of us.
Yeah, so I agree with you. I agree with you there, Jules.
So we are counting Tottenham as a big boy, one of the big boys. Then.
Yeah, I say so. I say.
Harry Kane, homegrown.
Homegrown he is. You know what? Love him or hate him. You got to respect Harry Kane. Ryan's looking at me. If you look see this, he's giving me some naive.
The numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't lie. You got to give it to him. He broke his August duct the other day, didn't he?
The numbers don't lie.
That header he scored against United, that was something special.
But the thing is, against the big boys, we tend to also perform anyway. So I'm not too fussed about
Playing
the big boys. It's more like obviously the likes of Burnley's, those kind of games as well. Like
the smaller games.
There you go.
Yeah, no,
That's what gives me a lot of hope for this season, the way we've been dispatching the smaller teams. Even if they've been tough games, we've done okay.
we have.
Yeah.
We have. Okay, lads. So this week on social media, we saw our boys play. I think it was head tennis. There was two teams of head tennis, and one of the teams lost. I think it was Sturridge, Van Dijk, Robertson. Come on, lads, help me out here. Do you know what I mean?
Keita was in there as
Keita,
well.
Robertson, Sturridge, Van Dijk, Gomez.
Yeah.
I think they were on the losing side.
On the losing side, and the losers had to bake a cake for the winning side, didn't they?
Yeah.
Like I thought that was quite funny watching them all bake a cake, and Van Dijk seemed to take charge as usual.
Yeah.
He seemed to boss it and be the head chef, innit?
Keita was involved as well.
No, he was involved. Sturridge doing his thing. He came late.
He came late.
Black man Toby.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? You got to love the team spirit. You got to love the team spirit in the camp right now, and it's all positive.
The team spirit. We haven't really seen that in a long time.
And it's for me, it's quite nice for us to actually see it as fans, to actually see the team laughing and joking and getting on quite well. What do you think, lads?
I think going back to when we last had like a really competitive team under Rafa, I don't think Rafa enjoyed or entertained such.
Nah, he was all about business.
Just business.
Business. There's no laughing about it.
Yeah, he had no time for such things. So we haven't really seen this kind of thing. At Liverpool. Well, I can't really remember since like Fowler and Redknapp.
Since they were allowed to wear those white suits.
Yeah, the Spice Boys. Famous
You know what
white
I'm
suits.
saying? Yeah.
So yeah,
It's good.
no harm can come of it. The players getting along.
Yeah, that's good, isn't it? The team spirit, the morale.
Team
man,
spirit's
it's
good.
It's interesting. You can keep players on the bench happy when you're in a winning team.
It's true.
At the moment, you're only hearing Mingele chatting a bit, and I'm sure Lovren will have something to say when he doesn't get back in the team. But generally, it seems it's a happy camp at the moment, and that's only going to be positive for us moving forward.
Well, it needs to be with our run of games, to be honest with you.
We need the positivity. That means we need the positivity in the WhatsApp group as well, right, lads?
Well, naming no names.
100%.
You know what I mean? I think the negativity in the WhatsApp group needs to disappear. You know?
Sorry, what they called it? The negative 4.
Yeah, the negative 4 needs expanded.
With President Ryan over there and his followers.
Being the leader of the negative 4, can I say things were negative? We didn't have nothing to be positive about. So, what should I have been positive about?
Have you disbanded the group now that we're in a good place, or you be parking it?
Some of my group members are MIA.
These hoes are loyal, boy.
That's how the saying goes. But we've won 4 from 4, so if you can't be positive about that, then you ain't never going to be positive. It's a great start. We've only conceded 1 goal. Yeah, things are good. Team spirit's good.
Ryan's happy, you know.
Wow.
Ryan's happy.
Wow.
Yeah, but you can't not be happy. You know what I'm saying?
No, Ryan's happy.
I'm quietly happy.
This is a good thing.
I'm concerned. I sing all the time. Whether it's pain or whether it's love.
Yeah, like some Ja Rule track. Jeez. No, lads, like I said, it's all been positive so far. Like I said, horrible international break, but let's hopefully come back with everybody intact and kick on from here, innit? Yeah?
100%.
That's what it is. Tottenham away.
Never walk alone. Never walk alone. Okay, well, we have been the Anfield South, the Never Talk Alone. I've been your host, Slim. We've had Ryan with us.
Yeah.
Leo.
Yep.
Jules.
In the house.
Sean.
I'm there.
And last but not least, Big Sam.
Yep, till next time.
Follow us on Twitter at South Anfield and on Instagram, Anfield_South1.
They've won the league, bigger stars than Dallas. They've got more silver than Buckingham Palace. No one knows quite what to expect when the red machine's in full effect. Well, Steve McMahon sure can rap. It's about time he had an England cap. So come on, Bobby Robson, he's the man. Because if anyone can, Macca can. Macca can. Macca can. Macca can. Macca can.
Liverpool FC is hard as hell.
My idea was to build Liverpool up and up and up until eventually they would